Enterprise growth doesn't usually fail because teams lack effort. Your team closes when they are in front of the right person, at the right level, at the right moment. But most growth motions are random. Wrong buyers, wrong timing, months of nice conversations that go nowhere. Somewhere in your market, teams are under pressure right now, hiring, buying, or evaluating for solutions, and you are not on their radar when it matters. Not because you are unknown, not because you cannot deliver, but because the decision path is blocked and the timing window closes before you ever reach the real owner. This isn't about effort, it's about access. The companies printing right now aren't doing more outreach. They are standing at the one pressure point where demand is stuck and supply is waiting and nobody else build a bridge. That's not lead generation, that's controlled deal access. Here is what actually breaks in enterprise growth. It's not that your team cannot close, it's that you reach the real decision makers too late, when the buying window is already closed. Or you are talking to someone 3 levels down who needs to check with their boss, or the intro came from someone who didn't vet timing. So you spend 45 minutes on a call with someone who is just exploring. And here is the trap most teams fall into. They try to fix this with volume, more sequences, more SDRs, more top of funnel. But enterprise buyers don't reward noise, they reward relevance. And there is a subtle difference most people miss. One intro is like a sandwich. You eat it and you are hungry again in 3 hours. Where a system is like a garden. It produces every week, so you are never starting from zero. Serious teams don't pay for random intros. They pay for predictable conversations. So why don't the usual options fix this? Because they optimize for activity, not timing. Lead gen gives you a big list, but it cannot tell you who is ready to buy right now. You get 500 names, and most of them are not in a buying window. Mass outreach creates noise, and when you create noise, it trains the market to ignore you. And you end up in SDR layers talking to gatekeepers, not decision makers. List of databases gives you names, not signals. They cannot tell you who just raised money, who just lost a vendor, or who is hiring for a role that signals urgency. Here is what they all miss. Operators don't pick industries, they pick pressure points. A pressure point is the exact spot where two sides desperately need each other but cannot connect. Wealth managers need family offices. Family offices need wealth manager. Both sides are losing money every day, but there is no bridge. Biotech companies raise $10 million and cannot find CROs to run trials. CROs have empty slots and no clients. Factories are bleeding money waiting for workers. Staffing agencies have workers sitting idle. Same problem but different sectors. Value wants to move, but it's stuck. The bridge is not more outreach. It's controlled access. Define the right buyer, watch for timing signals, and introduce only when the intent is confirmed. When you do that, you stop chasing random calls and you start getting predictable decision maker conversations. AccessDeal exists for one job: make enterprise growth less random by creating the right conversation at the right time. This isn't a lead generation, this is controlled deal access. We call it the engagement model. It's a simple 5-step sequence. Step 1, fit check. We validate fit and dial in your positioning so qualified buyers understand your value in seconds. Step 2, define the target. We define the exact buyer profile, the role or title, type of company, and the kind of buyer you want to meet. We also define the timing signals that matter, so we know what ready now looks like. Step 3, activate access. We activate our network access and outbound intelligence to locate the decision makers who match the buyer profile. Step 4, confirm intent. We introduce only when the intent is confirmed, so you are not spending time on people who are just exploring. Step 5 is handoff to your team. Your team focuses on conversations and closing, and AccessDeal handles access and introductions. Notice what missing? The spray and pray method. No vanity metrics, no piles of unqualified calls, no SDR handoffs. You are not buying more leads. You are buying controlled access to movement. Let's be direct. AccessDeal is for a specific type of company. We work with a very little number of partners each year, and that's why unfortunately we cannot accept every company that applies. So this system is for you. If you are an established B2B company that is already operational and commercially active, you know who you want to meet, and your team can run senior level sales calls. You want fewer calls but better calls with real decision makers who are already buying, hiring, or actively evaluating solutions. This system is not for you if you are early stage or pre-revenue. You want quick wins or short-term boosts. You depend on volume-based lead generation. You're still refining your core offering. So why we are so selective? We work with a maximum of 5 to 6 companies per year, and that limit is intentional. Our model depends on timing, trust, and relationship depth, not volume. And if this sounds relevant to you, the next step is simple. Click the private access to book a private fit call. On that call, we will confirm 3 things: who you sell, what timing signals matter in your market, and whether AccessDeal is a fit for you. If it's not aligned, you will be told directly. No pitch, no back and forth. But if it's aligned, we will map your buyer profile and the exact timing triggers we look for. Then introductions only happen when intent is confirmed. Either way, you will leave with clarity in 15 minutes. Click private access to lock in your private fit call.